Hi there, Fix-It-Tony here. Today's project, I am going to attempt to replace my steering stabilizer shock absorber or shock, and this is what the brand new one looks like. It pulls in and out, and these are the tools I think I'm going to need. 17 millimeter sockets. I do have a box wrench, and I have an extendable ratchet, some oil creep to help with the seized bolts, and a creeper because I do need to get underneath the car. So the question is, where is this steering shock absorber located? And I'll show you. I'm creeping underneath the car. Now, so what I'm hoping you guys can see is this is where the shock absorber is for the steering. I still see the Mercedes logo, so this is suggesting that it is made in Germany. I'll try to find the date. It looks like the car, a little bit of scratches here. Let's see if you can move this. So there's two bolts, one bolt there, another bolt here. They're kind of in different directions. I don't know if the top bolt is going to spin when I take this nut out, but I'm going to spray creeping oil and see what happens. And now I'm going to spray these threads with creeping oil. Thread loosener, penetrating oil. Don't know if it's going to be able to climb up the thread. So, as I look at this shock absorber here, helps soften the ride. I mean, stabilize this shock absorber for the steering helps to even out bumps on the road, and it provides us with that classic Mercedes steering feel. All right. I have so now I gotta remember the big bulb on the left side, this big nut on this side. Not sure how tight this is going to be. Let's see here. It's not under tension or pressure, but I want to make sure I don't drop any. There was thread locker on here, so I'll have to make sure. This is pretty good still, but now that I've already, it's still pretty good, but I'm going to replace it anyway. So I do have this extendable ratchet, so I'll be able to crack the nut, and then I can shrink it back down. Uh-oh. Of course, it's spinning on top, so I've got a ratchet with a universal. All right. Let's see, my socket is jumping. This is I didn't jack up my car high enough. Okay. My nut is off. Put my extending ratchet down. This universal kind of was like that. This is on the left side. All right, so it is, that's not moving up. I've got a bronze hammer here. I bought this off of eBay. And bronze is a soft metal. So when you hit on a nut, on a thread, on a bolt, it doesn't damage the bolt. All of the damage is taken up by the hammer. All right. All right. This bolt, a little rusty. I don't think there's any washers. All right. And then, all right, so this is pretty good. You can see I'm holding it pretty tight, all this paper. So let's take a look at the new one. It's a little bit stiffer. Okay, so I'm gonna stick it in the same way. All right, so what I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to clean off these bolts. I'll be back. I'm going to go clean off these bolts and take the rust off them and get them ready for reuse. And you can see how you gotta be able to finger tighten it. All right, I cleaned my bolts. I took a rag and I pushed it through to try to dry up any oil that's gonna interfere with the Loctite Try to get that as dry as possible. I can push that in again in a rotating fashion like this. All right, what you're doing is trying to clean up the threads. All right, and I cleaned up this area here. So, remember this bulb section goes right here. And I'm going to use this jack plywood here. This is my backup. I have the car on jack stands. All right, so now I feed the bolt. As I cleaned up this bracket, it still has the original factory enamel or whatever paint finish. All right, this may or may not be a lock nut, but I'll put a little bit of Loctite. So now this, you just gotta pull that shock until you you thread that up perfectly. All right, so I'm gonna put thread locker on this. This is blue Loctite. All right, liberal use of that. Why not? All right, I'm gonna put some Loctite on these threads. Before I lose my nut. Okay, I'm gonna have to stick my socket up here and get my ratchet. Okay, it's not quite tight. Howdy. I was scraping off the label and I see what I'm gonna think is a date code, 24409, maybe the 244th day of 2009. So this potentially was replaced about 11 years ago. You can see here, stabilis.com. So, that's exactly the kind that I put back. Here's the part number if you were interested. This is a C280 W202 chassis. So I'm going to hold on to this part for a few months just to make sure everything is going fine, and after a few months I'll pitch the part. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, I got my torque wrench. I found out I got to do 40 Newton meters. So I have my torque wrench. Let me make sure it's set up to 40 Newton meters. This is the foot-pound side. This is the Newton meter scale. 37.3 is the standard mark. I got 2.7, so this is at 40 Newton meters. I'm going to take off the extension. It's too wobbly. I didn't have, let me see here, you know what? I have a 12.17 and a 6.17. I'm going to use the 6.17. I really want to get a good contact. So, all right. Oh, that's it. 40. All right. Oh, that's already at 40 as well. Good. Well, I hand tightened it with my extension, and I probably over torqued it, but I got Loctite on there. I guess it is what it is. Okay, so that is it for today. The car's got a new stabilizing steering damper, and the old one was probably okay. It wasn't completely shot, but I just, in the process of doing my steering and making sure I maintain optimal steering control, I will be doing a new power steering fluid. That'll also hopefully improve things, and just constantly do that. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. And if you like the video, please push the button, hit like, and I need subscribers, so feel free to subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great day.